It's a short walk from the temple to the pawn shop. From the open windows, delicious wafts of roast herbs and lemon remind you that it's dinner time. You close your hand around the pawn shop's door. It's locked, but the inside of the shop is lit by candles. I guess I'll knock. You look inside to see if there's any movement, but no, Malec really left unattended flames in his shop. Not great. You're seeing the destruction caused by fire just a few days ago. The thought makes you uneasy. You knock again, and after a couple seconds you spot some movement inside. The door opens with a metallic clack. Hello again. Did you come for the archives? I came here because I have to do stuff. You've been away from the shop, you left candles lit. I did. Why else? Not. I did. Yes, I did. Well, come in. He carries with him a hearty smell you can't quite identify. Did not expect you to come out at this time. Were you cooking? The nearby tavern is too crowded for my taste, so I thought, why not try to replicate their hunter's stew? I'm afraid mine might be burning right now. I can lock the door and snuff out the candles for you. You just invited yourself to dinner, but he doesn't seem to mind. Ah! Yippee! I appreciate it. He disappears behind the drape, and you follow him after taking care of the door and fires. The hearty scent is much more intense in the dimly lit hallway. Once you round the corner, you find yourself in a waiting room sliced by the shadow of a chandelier. Its warm light bounces across the golden frames on the wall, mercilessly spotlights every bit of dust in the polished wood. Look at the trinkets, or I can look at the paint. There's multiple people in this game. There are 6. There are 5 love interests. We got Marinee, we got Silas, we got Alphion, we got Malec, and we have like this glasses guy that we've only met once. I can't remember his name. Or we can say no smooch. I am kind of leaning towards Alphion and Malec. I like Alphion just because he seems curious, and he is like one of us. So it could be interesting to see how that plays out. Malec is very sweet and sad, and I remember really liking his kiss CG when I played the demo. Silas is strong maybe, but I think I might be leaning towards the men this time. I don't know if you can kiss multiple routes or you have to like lock into a route. Yeah, we'll see what happens. For my bounces, blah blah blah. I'm gonna look at the trinkets. Every surface is covered in curio, much like the shop, between the glass ornaments and the bone statuettes. I have a hiccup. Bone statuettes and vases are enough items to fill a shop a second time over. Fences are poly routes. I don't think so. I think you get locked into a route. So you can't have like multiple partners in one run. There needs to be more poly in games though. Like you can flirt with people, but I think if like you pick the right answers, you're gonna lock yourself into a romance option. Single romance. From a distance, everything looks clean, but as you approach, you spot the dust and crevices in hard-to-reach places. Oh no. Malec peeks at you from the kitchen. I knew I should have thrown away my first attempts at art. You tried painting? He grins, but his cheeks look darker. How old is his face? His brows furrow in thought. 20-something years? The flower design on the face looks more like a knot than anything, but the use of color is impressive. Luckily, the stew did not burn, and it's almost ready. You don't mind waiting until dinner's done before sifting through the archives, I hope? You might not need to eat, but he does. I can wait. I should have enough for 2. The kitchen is a cramped space, half concealed by yet another drape. The pot simmering on the hearth diffuses a lovely aroma into the air. I did not expect your living quarters to be so ostentatious, close to the shop. My parents spent a small fortune to make sure the maid would have something to dust off. Oh my god. Where's the maid now? If anything could use some dusting, it's the shop. Where's your maid? I relieved her from her duties once I realized she was taking a liking to my late mother's possessions. He takes a large spoon and checks the consistency of the stew. It's ready. The stew he places on the side table bears all the colors of summer vegetables. You are not familiar with the spices he used, but you know their price must be hefty. What did you do before coming here? This man knows his spices. Hell yeah! If he told you he worked as a cook, you would believe him. Back in Banu Havidar. I don't know how we know how to pronounce that. Banu Havidar? Havidar. Back in Banu Havidar, I was an artist whose canvas was skin. Needle and ink and stamps, of course, are just some of the tools I employed. He slides his hand over his scarred arm. But the knife was my favorite. Hot. Banu Havidar sounds something like Carolise, who sound quite nostalgic. Rich, you say? He's rich? He owns a business? He has a tattoo? Doesn't sound anything like Carolise. He smiles. I am a painter, not a minstrel. I doubt I could do it justice with my words alone. One could walk a lifetime and never see it all, as the saying goes. I lived in the capital, by the sea, where the white-hot buildings are adorned by beautiful tiles. I even designed some of them. Ooh. The Banu Havidar stretches from the coastline to the desert, and there I have never been. I wonder if I'll ever go back. I don't look forward to yet another night-long journey by sea. You hate it that much here? Can't you do what you used to do here? Yeah, why you gotta leave? I would need to close the shop first, and as you can imagine, that is not going to be easy. Besides, here in Carolise, ink-skinned is found only among sailors. Is it different in Banu Havidar? There, it's tradition to ink the symbols of protection and good fortune on the face, the neck, the hands. To mass of delicate scars on his arms sound nothing like what he's describing. I'm afraid you won't find any tradition in my masterpiece. What you find in it are shadows that don't feel pliable, like those cast by the chandelier. Ooh, powers. Instead of acknowledging you like the rest, those on his scarred arm remain inert. How could it be? Why do none of the Whisperers have anything to say about it? Malec did mention having a strange dream somehow connected to the color of your eyes. Once you finish eating dinner, he collects the bowls and leaves them soaking in the kitchen. That was delicious. I'm glad you liked it. Are you ready to be horrified by the archives? Can't be that bad. I bet they're gonna be that bad. He leads you up 2 flights of stairs. The second floor is a cramped balcony with a single door. Oh god. He opens it to show you the inside. The attic has been repurposed as a maze of shelves filled with records. Dust dances in the air and catching all the light that floods the room. Do you understand my reluctance now? You approach one of the shelves. The records cover regular periods of time. A month when business was slow, a night when it was flourishing. Amelia said the heirloom was sold some months in the past. I'd like for us to cover the last half of a year. Oh, Jesus. That makes the job a smidgen easier. The shelves used to be arranged with the precision I used to deride. Just realized your name was Chussy. Yeah, we're Chussy Bagussy. We can't ever escape it. You give me an option to make my name, I'm gonna be Chussy. It's time-honored tradition, we can't escape it. Seems to be arranged, a position I used to deride. I can't imagine that. Can't imagine me being a brat. Oh. Good. He chuckles. I'm not particularly proud of those years. You pull out a thin logbook. It covers a span of 3 days. I get myself into boredom, hours at best, days at worst. You get to work. You read about insect collections, old ceremonial garbs, sold almost immediately, spectacles, carpets, woven hats. It's terribly boring. You know what the worst part is? Losing your sense of time? It's quite terrible, but no. What is it then? It's the first time I've entered the archives in over a decade. I will have to make use of this place in the future. I haven't made a big show of reopening the shop, you see, because that is bound to attract attention. I wonder if I'll soon be contacted by nobles interested in renewing their patronage. You make it sound like a bad thing. The hand was kept afloat by the people whose name was never made the records. Most of their collaterals were immediately purchased by private clients. He does not speak ill of the dead he's grieving, but his unsaid words hang between you nonetheless. His parents were crooks. Oh. Oh. Slook devoured my words. It is not something I should share so liberally. At the mention of the name, the shadows nestled on his scar darken. Who or what does Shuluk? Pure Elysians call him Shiroko. He's the ever-burning wind, the patron of travel and commerce, one of the out of the four winds of Banu Havidyar. He's the one I pledged myself to. Is he a god? Malec nods. You want a new god? I'm not surprised. I'm not supposed to speak of the four winds so openly. The goddess is quite protective of her faithful. What you mean? I always have to hide my prayers to the Havidian gods and profess to the goddess only. Granted, this was a decade ago. Times might have changed. Why did that jump scare me? You resume your terribly boring task. The curfew bell rings while you're working, and the last sliver of light disappears from the sky. It's quite late. Shall I escort you home? Yeah, you can. Absolutely. Hold my hand. No, take me home. I appreciate it. Thank you. He leads you through the waiting hall and reveals a side entrance. Where to? The Eastern Hold. He cocks an eyebrow. Not the sort of place I'd visit at night. Well, then maybe we could spend the night together so you could stay here and be safe. You want to spend the night together? Silas? Hey, I was just coming to pick you up. So, any information on the heirloom? Regrettably not. Bummer. You can leave Trissy in my hands. I'm her bodyguard. Malec bows to you both. Damn it! Silas! You better make out with me if we can't make out with the man. In that case, may the far traveler guide your steps, granting you sanctuary where enemies abound. Farewell. Malec doesn't have to walk far to return home, and Silas waits for him to round the corner before she beckons you to follow him. He looks like an easy target, just making sure he gets home safe. She leaves after she hears the door lock. How did your little job go? Better than expected. I made some nice coin in exchange for... She shows a small abrasion on her wrist. One teeny tiny scratch. In exchange? Well, you know, risk comes with a job and all that. She avoids telling you exactly what she did, which probably makes her little job an unsavory one. What you doing? You chat while in the heart, but once you cross the twin bridges, darkness and silence makes you alert to your surroundings. To your home, you hide under the sheets, and the soft shadows lull you into a lake of pure darkness from which the unearthly voice rises. Hey, the shadows! I almost died. I feel something in my throat. I drink water. Water. Smash. Yes! The Abyss or us, because both are options for me. You are to bring forth the darkest hour, dispel the lies of the false sun, eradicate its poison. What is the false sun? Is it the gods? It is the blasphemy of light. A falsehood that drowns the darkest truth of the abyss. Why do you always speak in riddles? No answer comes. Bitch. Phyllis's loud yawn wakes you up. I was sleeping. Sorry about that. I need some water. I'm parched. She rolls from the mattress to the floor. I need to get us breakfast. I have to admit that the miss taking care of that was nice. Bang the abyss. Oh, we're fucking the abyss. We are. Balls deep in the abyss. They can't stop us. After you refresh yourself and have a simple breakfast courtesy of Silas, you head for the heart of the city across the canal. Crap, I almost forgot. You know your way, right? I need to do something for a couple of hours. I can handle myself. That's what I want to hear. I'll meet you at the temple. See you later. Phyllis waves at you and heads back. What does she usually do while you offer your services at the temple? I should ask her. While you're not familiar with a city like Silas is, you now know your way around it, and that makes you quite proud. There's music coming out. Oh, music, Alpheon! My boy! There's music coming from a square. Deep voice sings about the sorrow of a siren accompanied by strings. Hey, Titty Man, there he is! My boy! You round the corner see Alpheon sitting at the foot of a statue, Atri resting her back against it. I'm gonna approach. Alpheon sings the last words of the verse and plucks the strings of his lute to end the song. Good morning, where's my applause? I'll give him a clap. Thank you, thank you. Atri shakes her head. What are you two doing here? I am brightening the spot, seeing if anybody else feels generous enough to toss me a coin or two. Atri's here to catch up. I can only endure him in small doses. Yeah, they're both envoys, that's right. They're both the same as me. We're a crew, we're friends. You hurt me. 3 envoys, and you couldn't be any more different from each other. What's with that look on your face? You touch your forehead, where Atri marked you with her blood. Atri, what did you do to me? I offered you a bond of blood. Thought we had talked about that. When you offer something, the other party can refuse. The same thing to me, by the way, without a warning. It was dreadful. Atri ignores him. Our bond will let me know if you are ever in danger. Think of me intensely enough and I will come to your aid. Oh, that's your power. Sounds like a useful boon. Thank you. She bends an arm in front of her body, another behind her back. Her military salute is curt, yet precise. By the way, this is the first time I've seen you by your lonesome. Silas had something come up at Marinette. She was taken to the halls. Taken? By force? By the warden. They exist? I always thought it was a fable to keep the mages away from people. Marinette understood what you were in the way, what you were... blah, 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 blah. Marinette understood what you were in a way, unmatched by Silas. Would Alpheon and Atri understand even more? They went through the same ordeals you are experiencing. Can I ask you something? Of course. I mean, to be an envoy, what does the Abyss want from you? What happens if I deny the voices that guide me? What does the Abyss want from you? Alpheon's smile turns faint. Wanted me to repel the Theans, and I did. Now it wants me to snap Alpheon out of his minstrel act. It's not going to happen. His eyes beg you to change the topic. What does it mean to be an envoy? It means we sense it. Utter despair, elation, joy, pain, elation and joy, pain and love. When you threw yourself into the fire, I could sense the fear of that boy, too sickly to stand, his lungs filled with smoke and despair. His cries resonated with the Abyss. With me. He would not have made it if not for her. She likes to play hero. And you like to make your mission to avoid any sort of responsibilities. Perish the thought. God, he's such a piece of shit! I love him! One more thing. What happens if I deny one of the voices that guide me? He briefly explained the situation to her. Anelia's pride in her life and her mother's opposing desires. Entertain the grudges of the dead and they will offer themselves to you. Deny them and they will return to the Abyss. Alpheon nods. He did tell you as much when you visited him at the Rose. I refused some of them. But we're not here for horror. We're here for whores. I'm gonna smooch this man. I refused some of them and released them into the embrace of the Abyss. I could not abide by their wishes, for I found them repulsive. Whatever you do, make sure you do not regret it. Atri and Alpheon do not talk in riddles, in the riddles of the Abyss, and aren't nearly as cryptic as the Whispers that are supposed to guide you. Yeah, the Whispers are kind of a dick. You decide to talk with them a bit more before parting ways. You arrive at the pawn shop after a long day at the temple, and are pleased to see no unattended fires. There is little point in knocking, so you walk around the building to the side entrance. Traversing a cramped side alley lets you into the shared garden, Malec is right there, crouched in front of a small patch of dirt, partially obscured by the fronds of fennel.
My boy, Malec.
Deathmark, my beloved. Deathmark, my beloved! With the exception of the questionable materials that this game series does give us. I still love it. The ghost?
Oh!
Spirits in it are probably like the high, one of the highs of the game. Because like those things are so unsettling. The third game though, like the visceral reactions some of them gave me, ooh. Like, I feel like the first two, I didn't have as many visceral reactions, but the third one was just like, ugh, why you look like that? Shit, okay, Malec. Good evening, clear your throat. What are you doing? I didn't take you for the gardening type. I'm a flirt. I didn't take you for the gardening type. Startled, he looks above his shoulder. Oh, it's you. Good evening.
Hi.
Malec moves aside to reveal small violets spurting from a small gap in the wall. I don't have the fortitude to handle manure, so I settle for small flowers. So I settle for or need? What was my log?
E.
Oh yeah, so I settle for small flowers. Yeah, need to settle for them. Got it. I can read really good, I promise. A crude fence path divides the dirt into neat areas where different vegetables are growing. Malec's violets are the only flowers you see. Should I be flattered or concerned? Disappointed, probably. I spoiled the gift that was meant for you. A pale imitation of your bewitching eyes. God damn. He wipes his hand on the cloth hanging from his waist. I need a minute to put away everything. Why don't you go inside in the meanwhile? He gestures towards the side door. Will do. Instead of briefly passing through, you bathe in the splendor of the room, rich with velvet and carved wood. Okay, alright. I'm being sold on this man. He's rich. He has a business. He loves the arts. He notices my eyes. He likes flowers. Kinda sold on him. He has sadness behind those eyes. We will of a sad man. Instead of briefly passing through, blah 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 blah, read that. He joined you shortly after and you get to work. This time you sift through an entire shelf by yourself. Malec steals a glance at you and you feel the shadows within him burn, contained within his heart for now. I haven't found anything. Any luck on your end? None so far. You stop before the attic is plunged into darkness. One again? Oh, once again, Silas is waiting for you outside the shop. That took forever. How long have you been waiting here? Knock next time. You can wait inside. If you insist.
Yeah, Silas.
Don't gotta sit outside like a dog. Following morning, someone slides a scented envelope under your front door. What the? Silas picks it up and smells it. Is it Marine? This comes from the mist. Same perfume. Marine! The blue wax seal is imprinted with an ornate M. It says, "My dear friend," and Silas too. Marine's script is elegant and flowery. Your visit did not go unnoticed, considerably aided me. For that, I must thank you. What does that mean? My actions set a precedent that could have disastrous consequences for Caroline. The freedom I had begun to take for granted had been stripped away from me. Thanks to you, I will earn it back. Wow, you make her sound remorseful. So that does mean that the halls have a gal of their own. May the shadows rend my chains asunder. I don't suppose you can tell her tone from her handwriting or something. You cock an eyebrow. No? Forget I said anything. It's fine. Truly reads me as if she's trying to reassure us. She's reassuring us. Yeah, she doesn't strike me as someone who'd admit she's in trouble. I do miss her breakfast. Speaking of which, I'll be right back. She returns after a handful of minutes with some black bread and almonds. Nut bread! Fuck yeah! Phyllis? Yes? What is it that you do, when I'm gone? I've been trying to get a cat. Ah, yes, I think you mentioned it. I don't know how long I'll be staying here, but I'm ready, getting ready for the fall season. And I hate mice. We can have a cat. I don't imagine you can grab the cat and bring it home like that. Right, she had like a tiny scratch on her wrist. Are you trying to get a cat to join us? She shows you the scratch on her wrist. I tried. Some sailors laughed at me. The cat needs to choose you, they said. I've been roaming around the harbor trying to get to know the felines. There's work to be found there as well. They always help with the unloading the vessels. Just bring them snacks. You like the job? Never brought me to the harbor. Keeping yourself busy? Should get that scratch seen by somebody. Bring me to the harbor. Never brought me to the harbor. It stinks, that's why. You don't want to be in the way of the stevedores. The only thing I don't like about the harbor is how many creepy stories they like sharing. She clears her throat and makes her voice deeper. Don't go near the island on the 3rd of the month, or you should get a pig and a rooster tattooed on your feet, because if you ever fall into the water, in case you ever fall into the water. Or my favorite, if you ever catch a glimpse of a siren, blind yourself with salt and twist your earlobe 3 times. Okay. Those are some colorful superstitions. They're all creepy. Why can't they believe in something nice? Some are saying that they all have the same dream night after night and they wake up crying. I bet they're saying it to scare me off. Are there teeth in their dreams and a strange creature with a crown? What do you know? Don't tell me it's real. Well, I'm gonna reveal it to her. I can't, like, not lie. Sailor told me about it as well in the temple. He wanted me to transcribe the dream. Do what with it? He sent it to the Lady of Dreams in La Marina. Yeah, La Marina. Tillis frowns. I didn't know she was still around. You know of her? It's an old scheme that comes and goes. The sailor will soon come to you with a message that asks for money. Know about it? Not really. I just know the gist. Comes with a company. Takes an empty basket from the table. I need to return this. Shall we go? Yeah. Later that day, someone familiar visits your table at the temple. Your neighbor, the one who recently experienced a loss. Condolences. Good morning. I'm sorry about your cousin, was it? She seems surprised. I know you. You go every morning to the same fountain with the one that looks up to no good. Maybe. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. What can I help you with? I need to tell his wife that he's with us no more. He was sick, you see. Came to Carolise to take it easy and heal, but he never did. Got worse by the day. Her message is brief, and her eyes swell with tears as she dictates it to you. May the Prime bless you. Thank you. After she is gone, Brother Mattia comes by your table. Another funerary notice for the countryside. The 2nd of today. This surge in deaths is so close to the solstice is a terrible omen. Could you do me a favor, Chussie? Maybe. Who's asking? It depends. Could you record on the side how many funerary notices you write in a day? Will do. Thank you. Could you also note where the deceased came from? You think back to your neighbor and all the people before her who had to inform their loved ones of the loss. Now that I think about it, the funerary notices today were all were about peasants. I addressed them to their spouses or children. They were from the countryside, but died here in the city. I don't imagine you were told how they died. The lady that just lives the street over, I saw her wash linen stained with copious amounts of blood. Could it be a disease? Probably. I'm pretty sure we have a shared water fountain for baths. I'm pretty sure it's disease. That is what my friend believes. If it is, it's not a contagious one, or the symptoms take a very long time to show. Brother Mattia traces Dawn's half sunburst in the air. I will inform the archivist of Dusk about it. He takes a few steps and then turns back to you. Thank you again. You bless us with your service. Hello. Bells toll over the city, marking the end of the day. What should you do with your evening? Oh shit, I got choices! Spend time with Silas or Malec. Silas. Malec. Malec. Yeah. You walk with a spring in your step towards the pawn shop. The voices of the dead have been eerily quiet, perhaps because they know of your singular focus. You enter the shared garden, spot a couple tending to a patch of vegetables. I can read really good, don't question it. Patch of vegetables, but no sign of Malec. His violets are doing well, however. You knock, and after a couple of seconds he opens the door. Good evening.
Hi. Hello.
Got you so happy. Good evening. You're in a good mood. What are you happy for? What's got you so happy? I've come to enjoy your visits. And I hope you do too.
I do.
That's not so daunting. Truth be told, I can't be no. I do. I like you. I like this strange man. He smiles at you. Come in. He sweeps the floor. The bookshelves have been dusted as well. Now there's a small side table by the entrance. Do you feel like something sweet? He opens a small box on the table to reveal a tiny drop-shaped pebbles. What are those? Almonds covered in sugar. Ooh. Cinnamon and sugar? He takes one and eats it with a smile. It sounds extremely crunchy. Take a nut. No matter how thin, the layer of sugar is delicious. He takes another one. Shall we begin? There aren't many records left that fit the period you're searching. After a while, Malec grasps the box with the sugar-covered almonds and brings it closer. Tell me, what should I do? That is a very broad question. I forgot you don't read my mind. Too bad. He takes one of the sweets and raises it in the air. Please, don't feel bad about taking the candy. You're saving me from overindulging. I have been going through them at an alarming speed, and while delicious, they are quite pricey. But it does feel nice to splurge on something every once in a while. But I could have fed a family instead of purchasing candy. You could have, but you can treat yourself. It's not bad to treat yourself occasionally. Could have prevented someone from starving on the streets. I'll let him finish. I could sell the shop. It would be quite the headache considering the amount of stuff that there is here, plus the open loans. But if I managed, I could open a small ink place, something I actually want to do. What's the alternative? Keep attending to the shop and have its dust and loans corrupt my morals. This is a roundabout way of asking for my advice. I value your opinion. Live your dream. Sure, the temples would appreciate some robust aid. I think you should open an ink shop. I believe you could give the pawn shop an honest chance. Pawn shop is not your calling. Open your ink shop. I think you should open an ink shop. He smiles. That is what I would love to do as well. I'm happy you believe in me, especially since you haven't seen much of what I can do. Thank you for lending me your ear. I told you, right, how you haunt my dreams? I thought you an ethereal flower for years, but you are not. You are real. I am glad to know who is behind my maddening dream, as is as beautiful on the inside as she is on the outside. He looks away. I apologize. That was... He hides his face in a logbook. The shadows dance briefly on his face before nestling themselves in his arm. Are you going to tell me the full story of your scar? Which one? Arm. We're not going to bring up the face one. I think the face one leads to trauma. Let's talk about your arm scar. He raises his arm to look at his creation. Dark ink, you see? Works best on fair skin. What a limited canvas that would be. I learned how to carve scars that turn light on darker tones. I practiced on myself. Removing what I had once inked, I needed to know exactly what sort of pain I was to gift. Can I touch it? He offers you his arm. Your fingertips are overwhelmed by the hard ridges and delicate hollows of the flowers, and underneath the firmness of muscle. Your eyes meet his, and he holds your gaze, and holds his breath as you touch him. Time stretches into eternity, yet lasts a mere moment, and he is ready to act, Yet he does not. Your fingers linger on his skin as he inhales sharply. The weak restraint makes his hands ball into fists, and he parts from you. We should get back to work. Now I want to know about the scar on your face. I was young. So young, in fact, I don't remember what happened. I fell, they told me, on something sharp that split my face. I was brought to a surgeon. Crimson rain began to fall, a sign of Saluk's presence. I think it was Saluk? A Saluk's presence. My mother fervently prayed to him, and I lived. That's why I pledged myself to him, the far traveler, the ever-burning wind. With your curiosity satiated, you dive into the last records. Your final hope, find House Casteldon's lost heirloom. We got it! Right? That's a we got it? What is it? Here it is. He peeks over your shoulder as you point at a page. There. The entry describes a cameo brooch with decorative frame and pure gold, carved with vines and wheat. The person who sold the item is simply referred to as a lady. Her house name isn't recorded, neither is her full title. Look at how little she received for it. She paid for her anonymity. I can read, I swear! Look at how little she received for it. She paid with her for her anonymity. There. Boom. I did it.
Yippee!
We should... tomorrow. You don't want to search for a pin in a haystack with only a candle as an aid. Fair enough. When you go downstairs, you find Scylla looking at the paintings. How'd you get in? The lock on the door was only for show. So, found anything? We know what to look for. A brooch. Sweet, I knew you would find something she'd wear. Come tomorrow, and I will help you search for it. Scylla yawns loudly. Deal.
Yippee!
You open your eyes just as the first light of the day filters through the barred windows. Knowing that an heirloom of House Casteldon is in Malec's shop fills you with purpose. Proof of her lineage to elevate her. I know. Silas rolls on her mattress and stretches her arms. Why are you awake so early? We have somewhere to be. Yeah, we do. Brooch. As you take the bridge that connects the eastern hold with the heart, someone waves to you. A neighbor who came to the temple. Wave back. Who are you waving to? Wait. Oh, the lady. Silas waves to her as well. You can barely recognize the hand of piety. The floral design previously carved into the dust-caked window is gone. The glass is now sparkling clean. I'm surprised the guy isn't sick of us yet. He likes me. He likes us, probably, but, like, he mostly likes me. I hope. When you enter, the candles are lit, but there is no sign of Malec. Hello? Malec? He emerges from the drape behind the counter with a bashful smile. With his freshly pressed doublet, he now looks like a proper Carolisian merchant. Oh, but I like it with the open shirt more. Hey. My apologies, I just received this and I was making sure it fit. It suits you, safe from the complaints. You don't seem to like it. You don't seem to like it. Going from a robe that is, to that is bound to make me feel squeezed. Aptly put. Are you ready to turn the shop upside down? Focus your search on the boxes of tiny items, jeweled pins, and the like, but you can't seem to find it. Hello, pretty lady. You decide to take a break as the day's first customer walks in, a noblewoman in a striking violet dress. Lady Medea, good morning. Fine morning to you. When she speaks, she does so with ease, and yet you hear a slight accent. Where could she be from? I don't imagine you found what I was looking for. I had to clean several inches of dust off it, but yes. Malec produces an exquisite box from the counter, inlaid with a lustrous mother of pearl, with a strange metal contraption on the side. Does it still work? The metal bit at the side is a lever. When Malec rotates it, tiny bells ring from inside the box, producing melody. It's a music box! I am unfamiliar with the song, but it's exactly as I remember it. Delighted, the noblewoman collects the music box and cradles it tenderly in her hands. This will make a wonderful gift to Father. I hope it will remind him of her as much as it does for me. Her? My mother. She... Grief washes away her smile to replace it with a somberness. Lady Medea exchanges the curio for a small ingot, a foreign currency, you think, and floats out of the shop, her smile restored at the thought of gifting such a precious memory to her father. Silas asks Malec if he had more of those wondrous boxes, and your search is brightened by their bell-like tunes. Hours pass, and the joyous chatter turns to a chorus of sighs and yawns. Over here! When Silas cries out, you expect her to sound elated. You rush to her side, eager to see the pin in her hand. Instead, you find her frowning with a wooden box in her grip. The engraving of House Casteldon on the lid has been stripped of its gold. Was it hidden in a box all this time? It's empty. You spent hours sorting through various bits and bobs for nothing. Hey Malec, have any unsavory individuals visited your shop? Well, that's a rather broad description. Oh, I can be specific. Have you seen a woman with a golden tooth and a scar over her right eye? Who the fuck is that? As she begins describing people, Malec shakes his head at each one of them. There's this pretty girl who can't see well and always carries 3 or 4 pairs of spectacles on her. Well, I believe I saw her. She put on a pair to examine the butterflies on a display, but wore another to look at the paintings, and even had a 3rd pair to examine the masks. Silas groans loudly. I know where to go. Go where? That's for me and Chissy to know. She takes your arm, ready to pull you away. Thank you again, Malec. We got stolen? We got robbed? Drags you away, she does.